Hello and welcome to episode 298 of the Craft House Magic podcast. My name's Ellie and I'm coming to you from Norwich in Norfolk in the UK, and today is the 7th of August. So welcome everybody. I hope you've all had a lovely crafty couple of weeks since the last time I've done a video podcast, and today I've got to share with you some knitting. I really haven't got a load of other things to show you. I've mainly been doing some knitting, so we're a little bit sparse on the ground for different types of content today. But we've also got my What's Occurring section where I tell you about my pop-up shop that I've got this weekend, the next meetup and giveaways. I've got the shop update section, which I will talk about the yarn clubs, advents, and Liberty fabric bundles. And then of course we've got a little appearance from Jensen at the end of the video. So let's get on with the knitting, shall we? So I have been doing quite a lot of work on my Geddy tee, which is by Tanis Lavellae. This looks massive. It looks really wide and really short. It's just because I've done quite a big size this time. I normally don't do positive ease, but I've got 4 inches of positive ease on this one, so it looks rather wide. It looks like it's going to fit though. I've put it up against me, and I did actually try it on properly, and I got Adam to measure from where I'd knitted to the top that I was wearing underneath. So I've worked out exactly how long I'm going to do it. So this pattern has got crocheted shoulder panels. I believe that this camera doesn't pick up the colours very well, so what I will do is after I've recorded the video, I will then take some separate video on my other camera which should show the colours a bit better. But I've got 5 different colours that I've used for the shoulder panels that are crocheted, and they are made out of my Lauper mini set, and I've then chosen one of the colours out of the mini set to do the rest of the body with. So the main colour is called True Colours, that's the Lauper song, and then the other songs I've named the colours after are Time After Time, I Drove All Night, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, All Through the Night, and Change of Heart, for those ones in those squares. What I did for these squares is that I've done the 2 ones that are closest to my neck the same, and then the 2 away from my neck the same, so they sort of match. The ones furthest away from my neck has got the pink sort of on the outside and the inside of the square, and then I've alternated it so to be more yellow on this one. But I've obviously now got onto the knitting part. I've knitted, so what you do is you pick up stitches on the back first across the squares, and then cast on some stitches and pick up on from both sides, and then knit backwards and forwards until you've got to under the underarm. And then for the front you do the both side panels the same, and then join in the round, which I have done, doing lots of plain knitting, and then I've started to do some rib. Now the pattern does say to do a split hem, but I'm not going to do a split hem because I don't think it suits me, so I'm just going to do plain 2x2 rib like I normally do on sort of jumpers and things, and I'm going to do about 3 inches. The pattern says to do 2.75 inches, but I've decided to do 3 inches to get it to the right length. Also, I have done a lot less positive ease than the pattern says. It says to use 10 inches of positive ease, which for me is a lot. I've got quite a wide bust, so for me that amount of inches of positive ease would be, it just make me feel really drowned in fabric, I think. So I've gone for 4 inches of positive ease. I've got to go back in and pick up stitches around the neck. You can see it looks really low at the moment, but obviously you've got the ribbon around there to add, and the ribbon around the sleeves to add as well. But I'm quite close to finishing. I've got another 1.5 inches or so of the ribbon at the bottom, and then obviously the neck and the sleeves to finish that. So there we go. That is my Geddy tee by Tanis Lavellae. I dyed up 400 gram skeins of the DK for the main body. I have got this much left, which I think is probably going to be enough for the rest of it. And I've got quite a bit left of the minis that I've used for the actual squares. I could potentially use these minis for the neck and the sleeves, but I shall see how I get on with the other yarns. But I've selected the amount of yarn based on the instructions by Tanis, so we'll see how that goes. I'm on gauge And so far, I'm quite pleased with it. I'm hoping that this isn't going to be too pale for me. I think it should be okay, especially if I wear like a long sleeve bright pink top underneath. So that is my t-shirt that I'm knitting with a bit of a mixture between crochet and knitting. So that's a bit of fun. I've done a little bit of work on my Avena jumper by Jennifer Steingass. So you can see the colour work is emerging around the neck. It's the same all the way round. So this pattern is also a DK knitting pattern. I'm doing 2 DK jumpers in the middle of summer, which is slightly crazy, but it's what I'm excited about at the moment. So I have done a couple of inches of the actual yoke pattern at the moment. What I did is I copied one of the other projects, see if I can find what the name of the person was, because I've completely forgotten. It's the lady who's got the project is the Prolific Knitter, and she did black round the necklines, which I've shamelessly copied because it looks really nice. And I've also gone with a very similar colour scheme to what she did as well. But I love these colours. I was a little bit put off by our knitting this because it's got the it's a mixture of merino, yak and silk, and it felt really hot to knit on this material, whereas the DK merino and nylon felt a little bit lighter, even though it's the same weight of yarn. So that's why I put this down a little bit more. But I've only done a little bit on this. Obviously it's a little bit more time consuming with it being colour work. So I'm using this natural undyed yarn, which is the merino, yak and silk, for the main sort of body, and then I've dyed up 2 greys, so one quite a dark grey and then a sort of well, they're both quite dark greys to be honest. One's almost black and then a really charcoal grey to do the different levels of colour work. So I've started with the almost black and then I'm going to move on to the grey as I get down the colour work section. It looks a really nice pattern. I'm looking forward to wearing that in the winter. So I have chosen a size where I haven't got any positive ease on this one, but I might do some increases just around the bust so that I've got a little bit of extra tummy space. We shall see how that goes. I will let you know exactly how I get on. So I have done a little bit of work on some swatches for next month's colour of the month, and I thought actually I can show you that to give you a bit of a sneak peek of what the colours will be. I am going to show it you, but I'm not going to tell you what the colourway is going to be called. So this is the main colour for the colour of the month for September. I've just done some of the swatches for the crochet for this month, but I need to do this one. So if I hold you up the actual balls of yarn that I've dyed, so those are the colours. You probably won't be able to see them very well in this camera as well. It tends to blow things out a bit on the lighter side. So I will quickly take a quick little snap of those with my other camera so that you can see the colour a bit more accurately. So those are going to be my September colourways. I'm very excited, especially with this colour, to make a garment with it. So I need to think about what I'm going to do with that. The colours of the month are only available for pre-order and then they're discontinued, so they're completely exclusive to that month. So that is all I've been working on this last couple of weeks. I've had the Festival of Quilts and I didn't get much knitting done when I went there, so it's just been a little bit of a whirlwind the last couple of weeks, but I do have some projects that I want to get started on, especially with some of the things that I purchased from the Festival of Quilts. That vlog will come up in the next couple of days if you want to see that, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep an eye on that video coming out. So on to the next section, which is what's occurring. So normally I have a few more sections in between, but today is a little bit shorter. So what's occurring in the next week or so? We have Venetia's yarn shop. I'm doing a pop-up on August the 9th, which is this Saturday, between 11 and 3. So that's Venetia's yarn shop in Fakenham. I will leave a link to my website where I've now putting up information on pop-up shops and shows that I'm doing, so that you can refer to that for future reference. but it gives you the postcode and everything if you haven't found it before. If you haven't been to Venetia's yarn shop before, I normally park in the Miller's car park area and then walk over, and you get 2 hours free in that car park, which is absolutely brilliant. And there's a couple of lovely little cafes in Fakenham as well, so a nice little day out. So hopefully I'll see quite a few of you there. To pop in and have a look at all the yarns that I've been dyeing. So I've got a few new colour sets that I've popped, that I've dyed up on bigger skeins that are going to go to the pop-up on Saturday. So you can have a look at that properly on the day. I will have some leftovers listed in the shop after that if you don't make it to the pop-up. So the next thing on my list is Barbara's Day Out. That's a crafty meetup that we do once a month. The next one is the 30th of August in the Orangery Tea Room in Ketteringham Hall. Now, this I need to book exactly how many places I'm going to, whoever's coming. So let me know whether you're going to come in advance, and I need to know sort of a rough idea what people want as well. So if you are going to come, drop me an email or a message and let me know that you're coming, and I'll let you know what the sort of choices are for food so that I can give them an idea what we want in advance. Normally we don't have to give a sort of an advance order, but for this particular venue, the Orangery Tea Room in Ketteringham Hall, we need it. The next thing is I must remember to say the Tuesday meetup we normally do at the Bull Pub in Helston is normally on Tuesday at 7:30 till late. But next week it is cancelled because the Bull Pub is closed because they're changing hands. So it's just closed for 1 week. So we thought we'll just give it a miss for 1 week and then carry on the week after. It's the 12th of August, so it will resume on the 12th of August. Me and Sam from the Sam Rayner podcast do a little sort of meetup every Tuesday, if you haven't heard me mention it before. We will also have, next time I do a podcast, which will be in 2 weeks, I'll have the subscriber giveaway winner. So if you haven't subscribed to my email newsletter yet, pop over to my website and it'll pop up with a box which you pop your email in. Every sort of time I have something updated in the shop, I send an email out. But then every month I'll draw a prize. So it could be you that wins the prize. And I normally have the colours of the month, like a full skein and a mini set that goes with it as the sort of prize for each month. So it's well worth subscribing to my email because you could be in with a chance of winning. So we're now onto the shop update section. So I have the August colours of the month in the shop at the moment, which are inspired by the song Part of Your World, and that's from the Disney Little Mermaid film. And each of the colourways are inspired by a line from the songs. We've got obviously Part of Your World, and then I Want to Be Where the People Are, Gadgets and Gizmos Aplenty, Flipping Your Fins You Don't Get Too Far, and then Wandering Free. I don't feel in the mood for singing today. So I'm afraid we've not got any singing. I think I've got a bit of a bunged up nose, so that's my excuse. But if you watched the last episode a couple of weeks ago, you'll have heard me singing the lyrics embarrassingly. So you can have mini sets, maxi sets, sock sets, shawl sets out of those. You can pick single skeins if you want to of each of the colourways. You don't have to have a particular colour, you can pick which one you want. So that's over on the website, and those are available for pre-order until the 10th of August, and they will be shipped on the 15th of August, so not long to order those. I have opened up another Advent pre-order, so every year on the 1st of August I have a second chance to sort of do pre-orders for the Advents, so you've had a bit of time to save up if you didn't want to do the payment plans that I offer earlier in the year. So the Advents will be available. I was going to do it till Friday, but I'm not going to have the chance to update the website until first thing on Monday morning. So the Advents will be available till first thing on Monday morning, which will be the 11th of August, but I'm going to take it down really early on the 11th of August, so I'll say that they'll be closed on the 10th, really, just for clarity, really. So they'll be taken down on the 10th of August then, and the pre-orders won't be available again. That will be it. I will be probably listing a few, and I mean like a handful of advents in October once the other advents have been shipped and I know that they've actually arrived okay. Those will be listed at the end of October, but there will be very few extras left. There will be no bag set extras. I only do the exact amount of those. So if you want one of those bag sets or one of the choices of the different yarn bases, make sure you pre-order those in before the 10th of August. So just to run over it quickly, I've got 2 advent themes. I've got the Dragon's Trove theme, which is the 24-day and the weekly advents. And then I've got the Dragonfly theme, which is the 12-day and the Project Bag and Yarn Set alternative. So all of these, apart from the weekly advent, will have a pattern included. The 24-day advent will have both a knitted and a shawl pattern included. The 12-day advent will just have a knitted mitten pattern, and then the Project Bag and Sock set will obviously have a sock pattern included. And if you've watched the podcast last week, you'll have seen a little sneak preview of the Dragonfly sock pattern that will be included in that set. So there's quite a lot of little extras in there. If you look at the listings, you'll see exactly what's going to be included. In the 12-day and 24-day advents, there will be printed project bags included. Obviously, with the project bag and yarn set, that will be a free motion appliqued handmade bag in that set. So there's lots of different options. I've tried to make it so that you've got 10 and 20 gram options as much as I can in the sort of daily advents, and then you've obviously got the 100 gram advent, so hopefully there's an option for you in one of those sets. So head over to my website if you want to have a little bit more details on that. So I just wanted to quickly mention we've got the Liberty fabric bundles for August, and they're sort of Christmas themed. There are a few left on the shop if you want to get your hands on one of those, and I will be listing some sort of non-Christmassy alternative once I've got a count of how much I've got left of that floral fabric. If you make sure that you follow me on Instagram and also sign up to my newsletter, you'll know when I've uploaded those fabric bundles to the website. So I think that's all for the shop update. It's been quite a short episode this time, but we do have a little clip from Jensen at the end of the video where I show something I've bought to show his artwork. So over to you, Jensen. So this is the frame on the wall. We put Jensen's artwork in. Let's take it off and show you. So how does it work, Jensen? It's a special frame, isn't it? And it opens up, and in the back you've got a place to put all your artwork that you've had before up in the frame. And then in this bit here you undo these clips and you can access. Are you going to take that off for me? That's it. And this bit comes off here, and we've got this place to put a nice picture.
Rainbow.
It's a rainbow, yeah. So let's show how it comes out.
Rainbow.
Can you lift it up? So this is a rainbow you painted with Daddy. How did you do that? That's the frame. You don't need to take that out. There's a little, like a, what do you call them?
It can come out.
A cardboard frame around the outside to frame it. It can, can't it? So how did you do this picture with Daddy? Did you put all the colours of a rainbow on a roller and then roll it along the page?
Yeah.
That's come out really lovely, hasn't it?
Some dots.
Yeah, it comes out dotty when it's starting to run out of paint. But I really like that effect, don't you? Looks nice. Should we put it back in the frame? Yeah. So that's really handy. So we got it from Amazon, didn't we? And you can get different size ones, and it's plastic in the front rather than glass. Do you like it, Jensen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can show all your lovely artwork. So can you say goodbye to everybody?
Bye.
Bye. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more. And if you have watched to the end of the video, leave me a yarn ball emoji or just write yarn in your comment in the comments down below to let me know that you've watched to the end. So see you later. Bye.